The Washington Post has obtained video recordings from a number of different co-defendants in Donald Trump's indictments having to do with overthrowing the results of the election. We need to be specific because there are so many different court cases. Some of them are still standing by the big lie, standing by Donald Trump, but others seem all too willing to throw him and other members of his team under the bus. Here is former, technically a lawyer, Jenna Ellis.
I emphasized him. I thought that the claims and the ability to challenge the election results was essentially over because of the dismissal of the Texas versus Pennsylvania case from the United States Supreme Court. And he said to me in a kind of excited tone, well, we don't care and we're not going to leave. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, the boss, meaning President Trump, and everyone understood the boss, that's what we all called him. He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, well, it doesn't quite work that way, you realize. And he said, we don't care.
So there's obviously throwing Dan Scavino under the bus. Dan Scavino there is relaying to her in December of 2020 what the stance of Donald Trump and his team is, which is we don't care about any of these court challenges. Like all this stuff that we say that we're fighting on, we're raising hundreds of millions of dollars. We don't care. They're going to do their investigations. They're going to show that the election wasn't stolen, and we are not going to leave. Now, thankfully, that proved not to be true. They did, in the end, leave. But she is pointing out that that was what was floating around. She also, like, she's trying to make herself look good in comparison, saying that's not how it works. No, we have a democracy. Remember, she was taking part in a lot of this. She was so close to this effort that Rudy Giuliani COVID farted on her. So like, but that's okay if she has information and she wants to help out. That's good. Okay, information. But anyway, let's get to a little bit more of the quotes. Well, look, there's a little bit of video of some of the other members. So Chesbro, one of the lawyers as well. Perhaps we can get to Sidney Powell, but Ida. We're racing towards a lot of these like court proceedings, and I like that these videos are released just because they remind me that there are so many people in these different challenges that are racing to save themselves by throwing these people under the bus, and he's been able to avoid consequences for everything he's done his entire life. But I don't know, when you have all of these insiders willing to spill the beans, I don't know how you survive. But what do you think?
You know, it's funny. Isn't just an indication of like the quality of people that they are. Like when you think about the people who were like the sycophants that were around him, and they were like, oh, you know, just they were worshiping him at every step because they felt that there was opportunity on the other side of it. But now, you know, it's just an indicator of the quality of the people. Not only are they willing to compromise themselves, they have no loyalty. We already know that no integrity is the baseline because that's how you come aboard an operation like that. But just to see the ease and be like, yeah, the boss, that's what we called him. Everybody knew he was the boss too. Let there be no mistake that we are talking about Donald Trump, the boss, also known as that, you know, like they're willing, you know, he stashes money under the bed, like they will throw it all away. You know what I mean? They're willing to say, you know, he spat on the waitress. Like, it's amazing to me how everything is okay until it can disrupt your well-being and your livelihood and your freedom. Then all of that is fine. All of that bad behavior is 100% A-okay, so long as you get to live lavish. But if it interrupts it, hell no, you going down. And I just think that those people are just all trash. They are a reflection of each other, the laws of attraction in play.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm glad that she mentioned Dan Scavino because it's a reminder that, you know, as anti-democratic, as fascistic as Donald Trump is, like there are plenty of people who are more active than him, younger, more virile, that would love to overthrow democracy. And him and the think tanks are just a crew. They're gathering this army of thousands of Dan Scavinos, where, like I said, thankfully he was wrong. They did leave, but will they next time? Like we cannot forget. There's so much else going on. Obviously, from the rundown of the show, there's a lot going on, but we cannot forget who these people are, how hostile towards our system of government they are, and how close we came to 2020 going in a very different direction. Yeah. Now that said, unfortunately, oh, sorry, quick final comment to you.
No, I was just going to say how negotiable they are. It really isn't about being pro-democracy, anti-democracy. They are negotiable, and the worst kind of person you can ever lock arms with is somebody who is easily negotiated in any direction.
Yeah, to do horrific things in some cases.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.